Children, today we'll be learning about the next endocrine gland, that is pancreas. You can see this structure here, the light colored structure, that is called pancreas, and today we'll be learning about pancreas. Now coming to pancreas, as we have already learned the role of pancreas in digestion, we know that the stomach which leads to the first part of the small intestine, and this is called duodenum, and within this loop this pancreas is located. Pancreas is located within the loop of the duodenum, and you also know that you can see this blue color duct, the tube-like structure which is getting opened into the duodenum, which releases an enzyme or pancreatic juice which contain enzymes which help in digestion. We have already learnt it. That means I have already told you a gland with duct, that glands are generally exocrine glands. Yes, the ducted glands are called exocrine gland. So here that means pancreas is an exocrine gland. But now I am telling that pancreas is also an endocrine gland. Okay, now how that is possible? That is because inside the pancreas we have two different kinds of cells. One will act as exocrine part or the exocrine cells, and the other cells which will act as endocrine cells. Since it has both exocrine and the endocrine part or the endocrine cells will release hormones, we call it as heterocrine gland or mixed gland. Heterocrine gland or mixed gland. Here you can see the TS of pancreas, and inside the pancreas you can see that there are cells, and these cells, the white colored, that round structures which are acting as exocrine part which release enzymes. So that is the exocrine part of the pancreas, and here the center they have shown you one blue color part, and that part is acting as the endocrine part of the pancreas. And these endocrine cells of the pancreas, called as islets of Langerhans. The endocrine part of the pancreas or the endocrine cells of the pancreas are called islets of Langerhans, named after the scientist called Paul Langerhans. And these endocrine cells, there are again different types. You have alpha, beta, gamma and delta. So there are different kinds of cells, each got its own function. But today we'll be learning about beta cell and alpha cells, because beta cell secretes a hormone called insulin. You can see this beta cells, light blue color, that secretes insulin, and alpha cell, the dark blue color cells, which secretes a hormone called glucagon. So beta cells secrete insulin and alpha cells secrete glucagon. These are the two main hormones secreted by pancreas and acting as an endocrine gland. Now, as I already told you, the pancreas is heterocrine gland or mixed gland. You know the reason. It is acting as both exocrine as well as endocrine gland. Now, here we are going to learn about the hormone secreted by pancreas. That means the alpha cells and beta cells we are going to learn, and the beta cells secrete a hormone called insulin. Let us first learn about insulin. Now, you know that when we take food, the main food we take is carbohydrate, which is the main one and the first one that will be used by the cell to produce energy. And we also know that at the end of digestion, the carbohydrate you take get converted into glucose, and that get distributed to the cell through the blood. That means the blood will have the sugar or glucose present in it, and the blood is supposed to maintain a particular level of sugar in the blood, and that level normally ranges from 90 to 120 milligrams per deciliter of blood. So this is the normal range of sugar level you should have when you are in normal condition. Okay, it ranges little bit here and there, and to maintain that, it is very important that time to time you intake carbohydrates, especially carbohydrates, so that this level can be maintained. Now you all know that we are having the food to provide energy, and who produces that energy? That is by cell. That means the glucose present in the blood should be absorbed by the cell. Now for that absorption, you require a hormone called insulin. That means if insulin is not released by beta cells of the pancreas, okay, the cell, though the glucose is present in the blood, the cell cannot absorb that glucose, so that it cannot produce us energy. One more thing is, one more what you need to understand is, one more role the insulin will play. Now let us say that the expenditure of energy is very less. We are not leading that active life, but we go on eating, or we are going to, time to time we are intaking the carbohydrate rich food. So what will happen is, the body has more quantity of the sugar, the blood got more quantity of the sugar than the cell require, because cell doesn't require energy because our expenditure of energy is less. In such cases, the excess glucose, whenever then it raises above the normal level in the blood, immediately insulin will be secreted, and insulin will convert that excess quantity of glucose which is present in the blood into the stored form of glucose, which is called glycogen. What it is called? Glycogen. Glycogen is the deposited form. It is actually called as animal starch. It is the stored form of carbohydrate, stored form of glucose. And where will it get stored? Generally it gets stored in the liver and your adipocytes, fat tissues. Okay, so excess glucose whenever you have, so that it get converted into glycogen, so that we can use it, whenever we don't, when we require it, when we don't have proper sugar in the blood, the stored glucose, glycogen get converted back. That we will learn again. So that storage, excess glucose will not go into a waste. It will get converted into glycogen and get stored for future use. For that also you require insulin. So insulin has two functions. One is that the cell to absorb it, and to produce energy you need to have a particular quantity of insulin in your blood. The same way, if excess glucose is present in the blood due to our excess intake, more than required quantity of food, okay, that time also that excess glucose get converted into glycogen and get stored in different part of your body, like liver, which is the main one, and also in your adipocytes, fat tissues. For this also you require insulin. So children, now today we will learn about deficiency of insulin. That means if insulin is deficient, if it is not secreted in required quantity, okay, what kind of problems we can get it. Now let us see that what is the function once again. The insulin, what it will do, whenever there is a high quantity of sugar level or glucose level in the blood, it get converted into glycogen. Yes children, now this is happening, or this can happen in the presence of insulin. Then imagine children, if insulin is less, what can happen? It is that conversion will not happen, cell cannot absorb that sugar or can produce energy. That is one thing. Second thing is that excess glucose will not get converted into glycogen. So that time the sugar level in the blood remains high, because it is not getting converted into glycogen, it remains high. And that condition, okay, we get a disorder, and we call that disorder as diabetes mellitus. It's a sugar disorder. High quantity or high amount of glucose or sugar in the blood, and that diseased condition, we call it, that condition, as diabetes mellitus. Now Diabetes mellitus, which is very common, we say sugar problem, diabetes they say simply. Okay, this actually are 3 types. Okay, there are type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes and gestational diabetes. Okay, so type 1, type 2 and gestational diabetes. Now here we can see, let us see what is type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is also called insulin dependent diabetes. What do you mean by that is, in type 1 diabetes, okay, what happens is the pancreas itself is not functioning properly. So the pancreatic cells not releasing enough quantity of insulin. So that time what we can do, we have to go for a supplement of insulin. People generally take insulin injections. Okay, and that's the reason you call it as insulin dependent diabetes. You need, generally people take insulin injection to maintain the normal level. So type 1 diabetes is an insulin deficiency and it is also an insulin dependent diabetes, and this kind of a diabetes sometimes or most of the time it is genetic, hereditary, and it can come in a very young age also. Very young age, even children can get this kind of a diabetes where the insulin is deficient or there is a deficiency of insulin because there is a abnormal functioning of pancreas. Okay, there are many other reasons, but most of the time it is genetic and it is insulin dependent diabetes. Okay, coming to the next one, type 2 diabetes. Now type 2 diabetes we call it is not because of deficiency of insulin. It is insulin independent diabetes. That means insulin is present in the blood. That means pancreas is secreting insulin, but your body cells got a resistance towards insulin. It is resistant, it is not accepting the insulin, and that is the reason we call it as insulin independent diabetes, or we can call it as lifestyle related diabetes. Lifestyle related diabetes. That means why the cells are reluctant, why the cells are not receiving the insulin. Though insulin is present, when it is supposed to do that insulin's function, cell is not allowing, your cell is not receiving the insulin. The receptor on the cell which received that particular hormone got damaged. Why that is happening? One of the main reason is obesity. Okay, excess fat in the body. So the receptors on the cell membrane get damaged. One of the main reason is obesity. And you know children, why obesity comes? That is mainly due to lack of physical activity and excess intake. Okay, and that is the reason we say sedentary lifestyle. That is the reason we say lifestyle related diabetes. Here this we can actually prevent it. And this kind of diabetes generally come after a particular, you cross a particular age, minimum 40. Nowadays even it comes to even young people, but generally theoretically we say it comes only after 40 years or 45 years. So it is lifestyle related diabetes which can be prevented. There, remember children, insulin is there but cell is not accepting, and that sometimes if you continue and if you don't take care, you have to reduce your fat intake and you have to increase your physical activity, and there are medications available. No need of insulin injection because problem is not with deficiency of insulin. So insulin injection is not necessary. There are medications available. Metformin, generally people use that medication, metformin, etc. for the type 2 diabetes. So if you don't take care of your lifestyle, if you don't make changes in your lifestyle, and if you continue to do that, slowly the type 2 can turn into type 1. That means the insulin itself, because if the insulin will think that, I'm just telling you as an example, though I am getting secreted, the cell is not accepting me. So what will happen? Slowly the pancreas will stop producing insulin and insulin deficiency again comes. That means type 2 can lead to type 1 diabetes again. So you should be careful, and once you are diagnosed with diabetes, it is always that you can control, can regulate the diabetes. There is no permanent cure for diabetes, but you can regulate your diabetes problem. Okay, by you are changing the lifestyle. Okay, you should not take any carbohydrate rich food, especially sugar, any sweet, etc. you should completely avoid. Even rice, the intake of rice has to be reduced. Rice is rich in sugar, carbohydrate, that has to be reduced, and physical activity should be increased. Yes, so that is about type 2 diabetes. Now coming to gestational diabetes. This is a rare diabetes which comes during pregnancy stage. Okay, only due to that, during pregnancy, lots of hormonal changes happen in a person's body, and that leads to a particular, condition, which is again a diabetic condition where the sugar level is abnormally high, and that called gestational diabetes. It generally goes after the delivery. Once you complete that pregnancy period and delivery happens, this generally disappears. But always remember, if once you get this gestational diabetes, they are more vulnerable for type 2 diabetes. There are more chances that they can get type 2 diabetes than the normal people. Now coming to the symptoms of diabetes. Now what is this disorder? What are the symptoms? Now the main symptoms you get is the sugar level. When you go for a blood test, you will get the excess quantity of sugar. The sugar level will be abnormal in your blood test. So it will be more than the usual. It will be above 140. Usually I told you 120, 90 to 120 is the normal range. Above 120 it will show. Okay, more than that, 140, maybe more than that also it will show. So from that we will know that we have this condition called diabetes. Now other symptoms include excess thirst, excess hunger, and high blood pressure, more output of urine, frequent urination. Okay, always tired. You will be tired because your cell is not getting energy, because cell is not absorbing glucose. That is the reason glucose is high in the blood. So these are the main symptoms of diabetes. And always remember, children, diabetes, though it is common, it is dangerous because it can affect your every organ. It can affect your eyes, it can affect your heart, cardiovascular problems it can create, and remember, it also affects kidney. So kidney related problems also you get, because diabetes leads to all these disorders. Any organ in the body can get affected due to diabetes. So you should be extra careful, and you should know how to regulate your sugar level. Now let us see what is the other hormone will do. Glucagon. I told you that alpha cells secrete a hormone called glucagon. You remember, children, glucagon got its exact opposite function of insulin. Now we know that insulin will convert excess sugar into glycogen. Yes, and what glucagon will do? For example, maybe you are fasting, or maybe you are in such a condition where you cannot intake or you cannot have your food and you are remaining starved. That time what will happen is the sugar level in your blood will fall. It falls down than the normal level. I told you it has to maintain a normal level. So that sugar level will come down when it is very low. So in order to maintain that normal level, to raise the sugar level in the blood, another hormone will be secreted, that is by pancreas, alpha cells of pancreas called glucagon. What it will do is, this glucagon, whenever the sugar level is low in the blood, to raise it into the normal level, okay, it will convert the stored glucose in the form of glycogen. I already told you it gets stored in the liver, fat cells, etc. So that stored glycogen get converted back into glucose. Just see its reverse, just opposite reaction. Here sugar get converted into glycogen by insulin, whereas here the glycogen get converted into glucose by a hormone called glucagon, and thus raises the blood sugar and maintains that normal level of the blood. So this is done by glucagon. See children, here whatever I told, once again I am revising. This is how the normal way how the insulin will act. The insulin will be released by the pancreas. It acts on the cell. You can see the receptor on the cell membrane, which is the receptor for the hormone called insulin, and it absorbs that insulin. It get fit that the insulin get fit into the receptor and make changes. That means make the cell to absorb the glucose and convert that into the energy. This is the normal functioning of insulin, and it also convert excess into glycogen. When it comes to diabetes mellitus, you see the type 1 diabetes. I told you in type 1 diabetes, insulin is not produced at all. See, there is a destruction of pancreatic cell, beta cells, which causes, there is a deficiency of insulin. Because of that, cell is not able to absorb the glucose from the blood. Okay, that causes that excess, I told you the symptom, excess hunger and tiredness, all those things, and that is due to this problem. And it is an insulin dependent, where you have to take insulin injection. Coming to the type 2 diabetes, you can see the pancreas is very normal. It is functioning in a normal way. It is releasing insulin, but the cell receptor is not receiving the insulin. The receptor got, damaged. It developed an insulin resistance, and it is not receiving the insulin, so glucose, the cell cannot make use of the blood sugar, the glucose. It cannot produce the energy. It is the lifestyle related, due to obesity, I told you it is causing, and that kind of a diabetes is type 2 diabetes. Hope the diabetes is clear for you children. Lot of other things are there, but to your level that is not required for you.